Step 1. Move monkey. Step 2. Orient shoe. Step 3. Crick button on tuna.
Oh, gather round, ye mortals bold, from mist and brine and tales untold, where canvas breathes and colors flow. Welcome to painting blue. Tobias perch upon the dawn. It must be run, for chibi charged and songs be sung. No timid brush, no timid crew. We paint like thunder splitting through. He's defender who half divine, born of ink and turpentine. Samurai heart with Irish grin, lets the living ether in. He doesn't plan, just do don't try. He squints one eye, charge a chi, one fearless stroke, the sky turns blue, and dragons hatch from painting. Fortune egg, open up inside, it says, trust the flow, don't overthink, follow the ether of ink, let spirit guide the punchy, while Boris grinds ink with teeth, strike like a tiger, swift and true, just like Gallows would do. Step to the mic, he sets the tone with Mazzo's crisp meatball calzone. Italian gravy, grape drink too. Broadcasting live, Microphone is here with you. From Japanese clan, he leads the way with honor. Sharp as katana spray through stormy doubt and ego stew. He paints the life inside of you. So raise your brush like battle axe. Let go of fear and pigment cracks. Let arrive from cosmic dew and roar it loud. Painting
Greetings, my beloved Japanita. Wait, that's not how I usually start that. What is it? Ah, yes, such beautiful music brought to you by our very own petrified primate, Myro the Magical Monkey. And if you filthy mortal scum have any honor in your feeble vessels, you will pay the monkey so he doesn't go hungry. That's what I meant to say. Greetings, my beloved Japanite, and welcome to another glorious episode of A Painting Goo. With me, Defender Usama, demigod of A Painting Goo. Today, we return to our designing of the avatars. We are on Staburo-sama, and he is looking fiercely rotund. Oh, that's good. Oh. I returned from Kickham, otherwise known as Punt Pig. Doing some work on the mural. I've just finished the second coat. It may need a third, because the paint I'm using is a thicker, transparent bitch. But the goo must flow, and flow it shall. And today I did not forget my headbandu. Past few days I have been distracted. That's not the word. What's the word I'm looking for? Detracted? Tired. I'm fucking tired. I've been staring at a wall a few inches from my face, painting it black on white. It's very enjoyable. It's very satisfying. The mural has turned out very well. I'm quite satisfied. It is sharp, curvy, it's sexy, it's alien, it's tribal, it's symmetrical. I returned earlier around 2 p.m. and I was hungry and tired. So I had a sandwich. And post-sandwich, I lay down for rest, planning to have a nap for around an hour. And an hour turned into an hour and a half, or 2.5 hours. And I have, for the past approximately 48 hours, been a bit stuffy. Either I inhaled something in my sleep, or it's the pollen count due to spring, or something, I don't know, maybe I consumed something I'm mildly allergic to. But my nasal passages, my nasal passage, are filled with fluid. Chatu disappearu? Not for me, only for you. Reset your YouTuber. Chat is fine for me. I smell fuckery. Indeed. Well, I mean, like, it's 2026 in this current timeline. I mean, there is plenty of fuckery afoot. There is plenty of fuckery afoot. Okay, I might... The current orientation is quite good. I do not have to descend too much into proper painting goo posture to revere my fluffy topnatu. But you cannot see Staburu's left foot. So I might raise this a bit. It's a fine easel. It served me well. Well, that didn't do shit. That did sweet fuck all. Right, hold on a moment. Can't forget Micah Raffone. Micah Raffone. Micah Raffone is better. Sounds more Italian. Is that better? Is that better? Not Riri. Not Riri. Perhaps a gentle tip downward. Not too much, too much. Fucking. Is that better? It's like one of my favorite quotes. Because if you know it, there's a visual to it as well. Edgar, your face is hanging off your bones. Is that better? Like, she just passes out. Like, it's one of the best starts to a movie ever. Like, I like that actor too, or at least I did. These days, it's hit and miss with actors in terms of their. You cannot equate their on-screen skill with their off-screen integrity. The guy who plays Gus Fring is an absolute troglodyte from Breaking Bad. I saw a fucking thing on Instagram of him, like, you know, doing the whole fucking political spiel and all, and talking about revolution and a 50 million of us die and all this fucking shit. Like, yeah, you well know he'd be fucking hiding in a bunker somewhere, clutching a fucking trans flag or some shit. Like, oh Christ! Right, let's get the goo throwing. I believe today is Tuesday. And there is no new tuna. So we will go straight in from painting goo to the techno playlist. Dick Fordu! Welcome! Oh no, has Bill Gates been visiting the Emirate Isle? Probably. If he has, I don't know anything about it. There's nothing that geek could do to me anyway. Actually, fucking mentioning Bill Gates, love the taiko drums. Oh, fucking the music we have the past few months is fucking incredible. Shout out to Printer Bear and Surrey Delta Bear for making excellent use of Suno to provide us with a plethora of glorious tuna. But I watched this Irish guy. He's great. He's called New Otta on YouTube, and he's great. He's into mythology and particularly Irish mythology, obviously. But he's into, like, you know, stuff like the old Brehon law and stuff, and like there are things to be gleaned from that. I mean, of course, fucking from what I've been told. You were allowed rape redheaded women, and that was like totally okay. Which, you know, you might want to get rid of that one. Like, our cup runneth over with top-notch tuna. Yeah, you'll never get a strike for copyright ever again. Yeah, we haven't gotten a copyright thing in months as well, which is like one of the handy things about that. But the guy I was watching, New Otta, he's talking about. So a former vice president, can't remember his first name, there's something Yeadon, former vice president of Pfizer. He left the company in 2011. And he's quoted saying that the vaccines, the COVID vaccines in particular, were specifically, intentionally manufactured with the purpose to kill, maim, injure, and sterilize. So take that for what you will, you know. Ah, Printer Beru-sama, just in time. Painting goo. Painting goo.
Beaches wet, they drip, they fall. Canvas screaming, let's paint them all. A smear of smudge, a masterpiece to paint, paint,
Painting goo.
It's email booms, it's lavish too. Characters rushed away the light. No rules, no plan, just let it do. Paint, goo, painting goo.
Oh, I have the sniffers. Oh, fuck. Okay. The angle of the speaker is a bit off. It's going this way and this way. Yeah, I did a stupid speaker head. Paint goo, painting goo, it's in my blood, it speaks to you.
Bright and bold, it's breaking through. Goo.
Painting goo. Oh God, yes, right. Well, fucking someone who has no honor. 5 views, 4 Rogans. There's always one. There's always one who is struggling with cowardice or a severe lack of honor. There's always one. But yeah, I thought that was the thing about your man for the former Pfizer president, vice president. It's just typical. It's very typical. Jesus Christ, the angle on this speaker. Do you know what? I might make it curved. Fucking like turn this bitch into a spiky boombox of death. Let's see what happens. Fucking. Yeah, if the former vice president of Pfizer is quoted saying that it was designed specifically to maim, injure, kill, and make people fucking sterile. Um, I mean, like you could possibly make the argument that he's just a butthurt former employee, and he's trying to tarnish the um, tarnish what would be the term, the unblemished stellar reputation of Pfizer, which we all know is not the case because fucking you could just look it up real quick. Pfizer, like out of like it's one of the, as far as pharmaceutical companies go, fucking Pfizer like has paid out billions or I think it's billions. It could just be hundreds of millions. It's probably billions. But Pfizer has paid out a truckload of money over the years in an attempt to pay people off for all sorts of like vaccine and medical related injuries and shit. So it doesn't surprise me at all. Like, it doesn't surprise me at all. Um, but of course, this whole like what evidence do you have of such things and all that shit? Like, fucking. Um, but like I don't waste my time. I wouldn't say it like that. I spend my time. I stay in my lane. I stay in my lane. I'm not a researcher. I stay in my lane. If anytime I look something up, it's like a brief. Um, and having said that, it only ever needs to be brief, really, because like a cursory look at fucking anything, you can tell that people are just lying out their ass about most of the shit online. Um, but it's like anything, like fucking most of the huge corporations these days are woefully corrupt. Um, in various ways. Is that open? Jesus Christ. That window may as well not be there. Fucking single glazed piece of shit. Um, but I spend my time working. If I'm not designing, if I'm not like somewhere else designing something or doing something with other people, I'm here and I'm designing something, and like my weekdays are filled with painting and walking and cooking and fucking. Well, for the past 2 weeks, I haven't worked out again, which could be one of the reasons why I'm a bit run down right now. But I've been doing a lot of gardening and landscaping, earth moving, manipulation of the earth via various tools in my hands. And yeah, like I don't spend a lot of time, trying to figure out what they're lying about, how they're lying about it, so on and so forth. Like, mainly because there's a plethora of people out there now that are doing it for us, which is great. You have a fuck ton of people online that are using their social media accounts to provide information, like that French fella, Reality Revolt or Revolt Reality or whatever he's called. He seems pretty good, but like I like the way he actually shows. He just looks it up on Google. Like you could just like and it's like what Owen talks about and what many other people talk about, where like the revelation method, and like they do lie. These sycophantic psychopaths do lie about pretty much everything. Um, but they have to admit the truth in certain circumstances. I believe because of things like karmic justice and the rules of the game we are all playing collectively. Um, and what have you. And Tedros, that like what a fucking name. That the guy, the CEO of the WHO, the WHO, he's on record saying that he didn't take the vaccine. And there's a few people, of that ilk, whether it be political or the heads of corporations and such. They're on record saying that they didn't take the vaccine for various reasons. Like, one of them was like, "Oh, I'm only 58 or whatever." Like, which is like, what kind of excuse is that when you're telling everybody to do the same thing? But like, it's all bullshit. Of course, we know this. Being in the bear community, we've been watching somebody like Owen for years, who does take the time to deep dive into things from the perspective of someone who knows full well how a lot of these systems work, because he was part of Hollywood, which is one of the main things that makes Owen Benjamin such a trusted source of information. But a lot of the truthers, they all essentially come to the same conclusion. They all essentially provide the same information. It's just the perspective that they then reach after coming to those conclusions and discovering that information. And the reason why people like us have stuck it out over the years with Owen is because his solution is to detach and to become independent mentally, spiritually, physically, from these demonic forces. And you're seeing, I've been saying this for months now, that you're seeing a lot more these groups, similar, like, bear adjacent groups. You're starting to see a lot of them show up. These communities that are breaking away from the system and becoming more independent, and it's incredible to see. It's very it gives me hope that people are not only waking up, but they are they're taking action in whatever way they can. Whether that action be, trying to go from the legal angle sort of things, and they're like, taking civil cases out on corporations and stuff like that, or they're creating communities and they're growing their own food, and they're becoming interconnected and stuff, which makes it then makes sense why governments like the UK are trying to clamp down on things like WhatsApp and ask WhatsApp to reveal all of its messages and stuff like that. I mean, that makes perfect sense. They want to know what people are talking about privately, which is like the irony of that is hilarious when you look at all the fucking like the Skull and Bones and these occulted groups that are essentially private membership clubs. And that's how they've managed to hold on to and consolidate their power and avoid taxes and all this shit over the years. And now that their food source has become aware of how certain things work, they're trying to combat it because they don't want to lose their grip on society and their inherited monopolies and stuff. I even saw an ad there for a protein bar company based in Ireland, in Kerry, in Ireland, that at least claim to be using all natural ingredients, because most of the protein bars out there are essentially candy bars, with all these additives and stuff. So every day, every week, every month, I'm seeing more and more groups, individuals, moving away from the beast system. And while they're doing that, the beast system is desperately clamoring to maintain control, and they're also to a degree they've kind of just gone insane. Like you could obviously make the argument that they were already fucking insane as it is, but like when you see things like the what was it, the meeting or the interview, whatever way you want to word it, with your one Pam Bondi in America, where she was like, the Dow, whatever. Why are we talking about Epstein? The Dow, like, it all has the it all has the energy of like an abusive partner who has lost their power over their partner. So they start panicking, and they start, in their arrogance, they start just like kind of self-reporting and making wild claims, and it's fascinating. It's fascinating to see it all kind of become incredibly vulnerable. Like, they're vulnerable right now. You have the potential for the UFO stuff. Are they gonna do a UFO psyop? They're currently, as it seems, working on a new virus psyop with the hantavirus stuff, and it's emboldening, and it's nice. It's a breath of fresh air to see so many people in comments, and more people who seem real. They don't seem like bots. Are just like, yeah, whatever, bullshit. I'm calling bullshit. Fuck them. Don't believe this and all. Like, so I'm quite hopeful at the moment. Things seem to be on the up in general, and that's good. That's good. But I'm a tad fatigued, and I have the sniffles, so I'm going to focus on the goo. And we're going to listen to some excellent tunages. I pray you don't get what I had. I do feel like I might be coming down with something, but like, maybe I need it, fucking a spring cleaning, as it were. Like, let's see what happens. Right. Engage techno. Engage techno. Yeah, Jimmy Talks is good. Yeah, I've seen his videos. He talks a lot about the guy slop stuff and all, like, yeah. Jimmy Talks is good. I've enjoyed his videos. Yeah, definitely Bear Jason. As of yet, my lungs don't seem to be affected. It's mainly like sinuses. The handle of the katana, I'm not very satisfied with. It's a bit shit. Getting fluid in your rungs sounds like a friction for the gays. Or Christians. Baptism gone wrong. Blasphemy. What's blasphemy? Fluid in the rungs is blasphemy? That makes sense. You're doing it wrong! The sins are washed away when the bubbles stop. It's like the whole thing with fucking witches. Like, if she sinks, she wasn't a witch. And Reese, they didn't try to put you on a ventilator. Oh god. Yeah, those poor people. The ventilator situation sounded horrible. What one's this? I really like this one. Dance of the Didgeridoo, yeah. This one's class. The rear gas chamber printer, yeah. Fucking hell, like those poor people, like. That's why I think hospitals are such like places of insidious evil. You know? Come right in, we'll fix you. Like, and they end up killing you, like. It's horrible. I would never allow that. I'd rather die at home with my family, in my own bed, than surrounded by Pajeets. Like Pajeets, Filipinos, Ukrainians, just foreigners. Oh, I know you be swinging speakers. It's such a hilarious image, isn't it? Like, just like swinging a speaker. It's probably one of the most metal things. Like. Oh, I fucking I finally started catching up on Owen's streams there the other day. Ah, Manuel Sama, I was just thinking about you. How are you, brother? I've missed you of late. Grifu Sama. At work, no sound, just watching. Well then, me turning off the tunes doesn't matter. Excellent. The skit that Bowler Bear did and Diane did with I can't remember his name. Unbearable Media. I can't remember the bear's name. He's very good. playing Mengala. Man, that had me in fucking stitches. I was doing the dinner, and then just like I had the laptop behind me on the table, and I turned around and I just see Polar Bear with the blonde like curly wig and what looks like fucking pseudo cream all over his face. I fucking folded. Oh my god, it's like, oh, it's fucking brilliant. Man, Polar Bear's a funny fucker. Like, one of the funniest things I've seen come out of the bear community in the like in all the years that I've been watching is that skit of fucking Sebastian Manseed and his second in command, or I can't remember Polar Bear's character's name, but like, it's so fucking funny. And it's like, the land doubts me, and then he just turns and he's like, "Curse you, land of doubt!" Like, man, like, it's some of the funniest shit I've seen in years. Like, fucking brilliant. The whole thing of elite marriage counseling for the elites. Oh, fuck me, it's so funny. Had me in fucking stitches, it did. Like I literally laughed out loud. Like, you know, it's fucking I'm there. I was like frying the burgers, like, fucking and it's just like, I could hear him talking about it, and I was like, "Oh, they're doing a skit!" Like, so I turned around, and the second I saw him, I just fucking burst out laughing. And yeah, his British accent needs a bit of work, all right. But fuck me, like, Bowler's acting, like, his Bowler's physical humor is on point. It really is. It's fucking on point. Like, his physical humor is fucking brilliant. The pouting and the gay little fucking, like, I think he's secretly gay. They're like, "Darling, I'm British. We're all a bit gay." I fucking love it. Your one Diane's good. She knows how to stay in character and deliver a line and all, like, and the fact that she keeps making herself like she keeps putting blackface on is for the bits, like, it's so funny to me, like, it's so fucking funny. Like, I genuine, like, part of me hopes that, like, the bear community's comedy, you know, blows up and goes mainstream in a few years or something. But then part of me, like, hopes that it doesn't, and we remain like the hipsters of the realm, where, like, nobody really knows about us anymore and shit. Like, I fucking love it, man. Like, it's just it really is an honor to be a part of this community. And, like, I feel like, especially lately, I feel blessed in so many ways to be, like, a part of the bear community the past, like, it's going on 10 years now. And now I'm a part of this new, like, little art family community thing in Tipperary. And I just feel like not even I feel like I've noticed, like, I suppose it is a feeling as well. I feel and I think and I've noticed, like, there's, like, physical evidence, like a material metric evidence, that, like, things are getting better, not just for me, but, like, broadly. Like, people are growing. People are growing, and they're growing into something better than ever before. Like, it's not even the whole thing of, like, people were, for years, they were, like, pining of, like, "Oh, we peaked in the 90s, or we peaked in 2010," or whatever, like, which in a lot of ways I do agree with, especially when it comes to, like, media and entertainment and so on and so forth and all, like, but people's attitudes and people's perspectives on things and people's willingness to like drop the persona facade, or the public persona, and just engage authentically. Of like, I don't give a fuck about this. This is what I think, and it's nice to see that. It's really nice to see that. Like, it's been it's been a long time coming. It's been a long time coming. People need it. People need to know that they can just be themselves, and they're not going to be like punished for it. Like, do you know what I mean? Dominicans, Spics, Haitians, Jeets, North American pavement. That's hilarious. Oh shit. Did I click there? A speaker that kills. How mad would that be actually? Like, because when you said, just when I read that there, a speaker that kills. Could you imagine? Well, I suppose that'd be more a preacher that kills. Well, could you imagine a scenario where words, in other words, spells, spoken spells, become so effective, become so powerful? Like, imagine a world where somebody could walk into public and just go like, and just say something, like recite something, and like people drop dead. That'd be like a really cool anime or something, like, you know. It'd be worse than the whole Harry Potter thing of like Avada Kedavra, and like the wand is actually like the conduit of the spell, and then the spell comes out of the wand, and typically it only hits like an individual. You could just come out, you know, and just go like blah 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 blah, and like people hearing it is what kills them. The sound that you produce, you know, because there's stuff like the brown note, or like these sound devices that like emit sound and it causes pain or burning sensation or like a ringing in the ears, or it can make you deaf, or any of these things. Like, being able to come out and like, it'd be like what they say about the voice of God, you know, or like if God spoke, you're like, you know, you'd burst into flames or some shit, like, or, you know, a speaker that kills. That's what I thought of there when I read that, like a speaker that kills. Obviously, this is also a speaker that kills. I think like I was about to get a bit like autistic about the shape and the angle of it, but I think the more kind of like disjointed and spiky it is, like like it probably would be a bit warped from the amount of people that you beat to death with it, like, you know, so that makes sense. And don't worry, I won't forget to put blood like dripping off the fucking thing. Makes more than the ears breed. I watched Justin What's His Face Leprechaun on Jake Shields' pod the other day. Yeah, so did I. I was interested to see it. His name's Justin Barrett. Yeah, like I still have my reservations about that guy, because like, just when I look at him, I see the same thing when I look at somebody like George Soros or Trump or any of these guys, where like I do subscribe to the idea to a degree, obviously, because there's always exceptions to a rule. But to a degree, I subscribe to the whole physiognomy thing, and there's something about Justin that screams diminutive little trickster, you know. But you know, what if he's a good diminutive little trickster? Like, you know, I don't know, like, to the fucking, he says all the right stuff, and he did as far as I'm aware, he did leave the National Party, which could be which could be a sign that he is more authentically more authentically involved, not involved. I don't know how would you word this. It could be a sign for him leaving the National Party, or I think they kicked him out. I don't know. Like I'd have to I just know that he's not a part of it anymore. You could one could say that plays in his favor in terms of what kind of person he is, because I was hopeful of the National Party because they again were saying all the right things, and then the first meeting I went to, I was like, yeah, this is just another bunch of scumbags vying for power. It's just another bunch of politicians But and don't get me wrong, because I did, you guys saw me on the stream. What was it, last year or the year before? I can't remember how long ago it was. When Justin Barrett had that interaction with Ezra Levant, I thought that was really bad optics. Because if what you're if you're Justin Barrett and you want the Irish public to be on your side, you can't just turn around and go I'm not talking to a Jew, I don't like Jews, you're gonna spin everything and all. Even though I would agree with a lot of what he says, poor optics is poor optics. If you're playing the game of politics and if you're playing the game of public influence, then you need good optics, because that's one of the most powerful tools in your toolbox is good optics. And Ezra Levant kind of, in my opinion, came out on top in that exchange. Because he's a Jew and he knows what he's doing, because say what you want about, say what you will about the Jews, but they're very good at what they do, and there's always an exception to the rule. It's always them, but it's not all of them. It's not so everyone in Israel is a piece of shit. I highly doubt it. So everyone who claims to be a Jew is a demon. Working at absolutes and ultimatums is a good way to walk yourself down the fucked up garden path. Do you know what I mean? So yes, that group is associated with demonic levels of manipulation and deception and trickery, and their culture, from what we've collectively seen, is predicated on avoiding work and fucking being middlemen for things, and they're obsessed. Their god seems to be either money or or fucking straight up Satan. Do you know what I mean? But I have seen lots of Jews fighting for look, there's a difference between this kind of Jew and this kind of Jew, and the whole Torah versus the Talmud, and then a Jewish person versus a Zionist, and I think that is an important distinction, because Zionism is its own thing, and the Jews were a thing back in the day. It wasn't Jesus a Jew and all, so it's all this shit of yeah, all right, I'll have a fresh cup of coffee, yeah. Well, I'm just taking a black with sugar, so but yeah, cool, whatever. Yeah, but that would be my opinion on it. Is on Justin. I like Justin. He's one of the few people. That's probably why I was so critical of that interaction, because I was kind of oh my god, I think I even said that at the time. I was oh, that's not good optics. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like watching a fighter you like and that you want to win in a fight. It's like watching them, make a mistake, a tactical error, and then really suffer the consequences for it. You're sitting there going like, oh my God, why did you throw that kick? What were you thinking? You know, like when Anderson Silva threw a naked low kick at fucking Chris Weidman and fucking shattered his fucking shin all over the place. Like I was like, why did you do that? Like, and then Weidman did the same thing. But anyway, I do like Justin. His interaction with Jake was really good. I really enjoyed that podcast. A lot of a lot of truth was said. Like everything Justin says is very true. And I like the way that he says. He says, I don't know if that is true, if it's a reality, but like he's not a very religious person. Like, you know, it's like I think the only way that the Irish people, as a people, will collectively recover and move forward from like all of the bullshit that we're facing. Like if we're just talking about just the Irish, not like humanity as a whole, but if we're speaking specifically about just my kin, we need to get rid of this whole fucking Catholic hang-up. But like, I don't think that's possible because so many of us are still devoutly Catholic. Which is crazy to me when you look at how fucked up the Catholic Church is, and the fact that like the head of the Catholic Church is the Vatican, and the Vatican is like really fucked up, like, you know. Like the Vatican may as well just be the Italian version of the United States government. Like, you know, it's like a center of power that is woefully corrupt and hiding a lot of things that could really help the people become enlightened in a time of incredible deception and, you know, darkness. Like, but yeah, I did really enjoy the podcast that Justin Barrett did with Jake Shields. I love Jake Shields. The fact that he will have anyone and everyone on and just talk to them and like just fucking has a laid back conversation with them. Like it's not like he has a unique way of talking to people, which can be kind of annoying sometimes because he tends to talk over people. But there's like a good and a bad side to that, where like he just talks to them like he would talk to somebody on the street, and I really like that. Like if I was gonna have a podcast, that's how I would do it. Is I would just literally just have a conversation with somebody. And sure, I think like people have said that about Owen before. Like, you know, you see people in the comments being like, "Oh my God, will you let him talk?" Like, I understand that complaint. You know, sometimes it'd be quite annoying where like the person was making a point or getting to a point, but typically, especially Owen would be like, "Sorry, you were saying," you know, like, and go back or whatever. Like, but that's kind of like a unavoidable consequence of a free flowing conversation. You know. And it speaks like it's like it's an it's an example of two people who have the emotional discipline to be repeatedly interrupted and not like, you know, be a dick about it, you know, because like I could talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. But if somebody interrupts me, I just shut up. You know, like, and then like if I notice that somebody's trying to say something, I shut up. And then if they stop, I'm like, sorry, you were saying, you know, like, I think that's like from my experience, that's like an intellectual way to have a conversation, is to like genuinely have a meeting of the minds where you're trying to say what you're trying to say and they're trying to say what they're, especially with males. I think males have a tendency to try and like talk over each other, or like fit stuff into gaps in conversation. And then you have to take into account the whole it's online and people are listening to it. You don't want a lot of dead air and shit like that. So but yeah, it was a really good podcast. It was a really good podcast. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I do like Justin Barrett. If it was a situation where like somebody like him was to get into legal or political, like, some kind of power position in the country, I think the country would be better off. Because even though, like I said about the whole physiognomy thing, he does have this kind of diminutive, like he's got weird ears and a weird face, but he's not really ugly. Thanks. Fucking so like there's definitely elements of I would show him grace and I would trust him a bit. Which is way more than, like, if not the polar opposite of like everybody else in the fucking country right now. Anyone who's like in the political sphere, from what I've seen, they're all just vying for power. They all just like say the right shit or what they think the right shit is, like. But I think he's a good man. I think he's trying to be a good man, and I think the fact that he's no longer with the National Party, like I said, is like a point of like evidence to that. Is that, like, from what I heard, the party had very quickly become something that he was like, no, this is not what I had in mind, and was like, right, I'm stepping down, I'm leaving, like. And I respect that. If that is indeed the case, like, I'm not sure. Maybe they like kicked him out or something. But like, then again, if they kicked him out, did they kick him out because they realized that he was dead serious about what he was saying, which also plays in his favor in terms of somebody that I would trust. Diane's one of my IG buddies, hilarious and based. Oh, she seems really cool. Wait, we're buffering. I don't know. There's a bit of buffering going on there. Diane seems like really cool. A woman with a really high, like a high class sense of humor is rare. Like she's the type of female that can hang with males when you're talking like humor. She can give as much as she can take, like, and I've only seen the skits. I've never seen her like outside the skits, and you can tell immediately that she has that, like, she's got balls, like, which is, it's a rare quality in a female these days anyway. I saw that too. We had a good chat. Was a good chat. Just he's an interest. Yeah, that's a good. That's a good way to put it. He is an interesting character because he doesn't seem manipulative. He seems genuine, and he doesn't seem to be just saying the right things in order to get attention. He seems to be saying the things that he genuinely believes, which is also a rarity these days. Or a Thuum a la Skyrim. Yeah, like the shouts from Skyrim. Yeah, you just go, nigger! And suddenly every black in earshot is in period era farm clothing and chains. It's like, I cast slaverism. Like, oh, that's hilarious. They almost do that now. Antiseptic, ninja, etc. Yeah, well, I get where you're coming from. Yeah, you see, like, to a degree, I don't like that though. The whole antiseptic and ninja stuff, I don't like that. It's funny, it's creative, but I think it's creative in an avoiding way. like I get it and I like it to a degree, but there's a part of it that I don't like because you're kind of giving in to the whole thing of like, you can't say that anymore. So it's like, okay, well if I can't say that, I'll say this, which fair enough. But then to a degree, are you not then still submitting to the idea that you cannot say that thing, you know? And that's one of the biggest reasons why I have so much respect for Owen, because he just like put the foot down on that and was like, you are not going to stop me from saying these things, because he understands that. Where it's like, no, I'm not going, because doing the whole antiseptic ninja thing is kind of Jewy, you know? You're like, and I know you could argue, it's like, oh, you just play them at their own game. The whole idea is to not play their game, you know? From my perspective. The whole idea is to not play their game. The whole idea is to come up with your own game and your own rule set. Or, if anything, the whole idea is to realize that the meta game, God's game, the one true creator or whatever, is the only game, and that their game is a facade and an illusion, I only typed it that way because YouTube. Well, yeah, well, that's fair. That's totally understandable. But like, you get where I'm coming from, yeah, that was a bad look. Whereas someone like Dan Bilzerian is willing to speak to and debate you, after all, he's running against one. Yeah, and that's why I really like Dan. Dan is like, Dan's more like Owen, where he's just like, boom, upfront about it. Like that. Dan is more just like, and like, physically speaking, has the optics of like, I'm not fucking around. Like, I lift heavy weights. I look like a badass. I am a badass. I speak like a badass. Like, and that's the congruent nature of like speak and behave in the, like, like a what, not just talking the talk, walking the walk. Like, do you know what I mean? Like the things you think are the things you speak, are the things you do. And like, for the most part, I think I'm like that. I catch myself out sometimes where like, sometimes I think I might be a bit too intense for my position. Like, a while ago, like a few weeks ago, where I kind of did take on board what your man Alan was saying, where like the whole hide your power thing, where like, I don't have fuck you money. I don't have social clout, which in one way you could say like actually works in my favor, because nobody knows who the fuck I am. But in my local area, it actually impedes my progress to a degree, because I put a big target on my back before I gain enough status to be able to take those hits. I remove opportunities from myself before they even arise. So like, it would benefit me to be more tactful until such a point as I can actually literally afford to just be blunt as fuck. Because then they can't like remove things from me, Now, to a degree, I'm in a position now where like nobody can remove anything from me, really. Like, there are some things that could still be removed from me, but I do not fear those things being removed from me. It's kind of hard to find something that I'm afraid of these days, or that I have any fear of these days, which is good. But I do still have moral apprehensions, like things I worry about, because I don't want to be irresponsible or selfish in a negative way, I think most people have stopped caring about optics. I get your point, though. Well, yeah, like, and I understand why people would stop caring about optics because we are surrounded by so many illusions. But optics are very important. The we have eyes for a reason, and illusions are very powerful for a reason because how things appear is very important. And yes, I know appearances can be deceiving, but it's all the more powerful when something is what it appears to be. Like when you look at something and you're like, oh, that looks beautiful, and then you inspect it up close and it is beautiful, that only plays in its favor. It's incredibly disappointing when you look at something initially and you're like, oh my God, that's beautiful. And then upon closer inspection, it's like horrible and ugly, or it's fake. It's a facade, a Catholic church may as well be a modern Roman Empire embassy. Essentially, yes. Iron Man Beru. Defender, and yes, you can. Good afternoon, Defender, and yes, you can talk expert level. Domo. I painted Justin Bargib's portrait. Did you intentionally mistype that? What do you think of Justin Barr, Emmanuel? I'd like to know your opinion. You're more politically. You're more educated in a lot of these matters than I would be. Or at least you appear to be. Anyway, like you seem to know a lot more about stuff like that. I tend like I'm ignorant to a lot of stuff because I've hyper focused on my craft, which is obviously played to my advantage in some ways, but there's a negative side to it where, like, for example, I went to the credit union the other day with two of the people from the Tarts group, and we were trying to open a credit union account for the Tarts group, the Tipperary Arts Co-op. So I'm one of the three signees for the account, or at least I'm potentially anyway. And we needed a form of ID, i.e. passport, a bank statement in the last 6 months, and proof of your PPS, which is your social security number. Now, as someone who's been in the social welfare system on and off since I left school, I know my PPS number off by heart and have done for fucking years. And I have a plethora of evidence, physical and non-physical, of having that PPS number. Up until 2 years ago, where they cut me off because the missus has a job and earns too much money. Like, it's ridiculous. So I didn't have a physical representation of my PPS number, so I had to go get one. So they advised me to just quickly leg it down to the social welfare office and ask them to print off a physical copy of anything, just with a government watermark on it and government stamped, headings and stuff, with a proof of Alex Roach PPS number, right? And she turned around to me, she was like, oh, we don't do that anymore. And I was kind of standing there being like, that's a bit weird. But because I'm ignorant to the law and what I'm owed and what's right and wrong and stuff, I just accepted it. I was kind of like, oh, okay, they don't do that anymore. Yeah, I did say Tarts Group. It's the Tipperary Arts Co-op. We're called the Tarts. It's hilarious. I can't wait till we have T-shirts that just says fucking tarts on it, in fucking big hot pink writing or something. It'd be hilarious. So basically, I just accepted her at face value because up until this point, all of my interactions with the two of those females in that office, I've been very. There's nothing wrong with them. They haven't been rude. They've been helpful or whatever like that. So I leg it back up. She basically told me that I'd have to go on to email a particular group and request a PPS physical copy of my PPS. A group which have still yet to respond to me. So I go back to the credit union and I tell them what happened. And you should have seen the faces on everybody. Everybody was like, "What the fuck do you mean she didn't give it to you? You're entitled to that. Like, your PPS is like it's your property. It's your social security. Like, and they're the social welfare service. They are a public servant. They're supposed to provide you with what you require as a citizen of Ireland." And I was like, yeah, I had a feeling. Do you know what I mean? But I wasn't sure, so I didn't want to play that hand if I was in the wrong, you know? Because there's no, from my perspective, there was no point in putting a blemish on a relationship that up until that point was very, you know, amicable. So basically, I had to get on to one of the local councillors. That turned out to be useless because all she did was sent me to the fucking government website and was like, "Oh, there should be something there for you to print off." There isn't. So I had to ring up a guy. Thank fuck I still had his card. I had to ring up my old caseworker from 2 years ago. And when I explained the situation to him, he burst out laughing because of the absurdity of it all. He was like, "But that's literally one of the things that they're like, that's their purpose, is to give you what you need in order to do what you need to do in situations like this. Like, that's utterly ludicrous." Like, and I was like, yeah, I know. Like, but that's been my experience for years now, where the government, well, not the government, particularly the social welfare offices, and this is something that was said by your one in the credit union. She was like, "Oh, it depends on who you get in there." Like, if the person behind the glass is a cunt, they will do the least amount of work that they can do to just get by. They will put every obstacle in front of you so that they don't have to do anything, because they're cunts. But because they're a cunt in a position that, like, you know, they're a middleman between you and what you need. Like, this is what Rob said. It's like, she potentially made you destitute there because this is going to be part of your wages. So she has literally committed an action that is like an illegal transgression against you as a citizen. And I'm sitting there going, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all, like, you know, because that's the way they behave, like, you know. It's like, it's mind-blowing how inverted these societal systems that we currently interact with are. Like they will literally treat an Irish national citizen like shit while handing a house, a car, and a phone to a foreigner. Like, that's treason. Like, that's not just, like, you know, a dick move. That is, like, when it comes to, like, legal stuff and, like, how constitutions are supposed to work and, like, how the law is supposed to work and your rights as a citizen and all this shit, like, it's unconstitutional, it's illegal, it's all these things. Like, it's the sort of thing that you should be hanged for, or at the very least, you should be removed from your position for. And you should be, like, stamped. You should be marked as, like, you're never allowed into that system ever again, like, you know. And that's how far it's trickled down. It's not just the politicians. It's the people that sit behind the desk, just your average person, like. And it's not all of them, you know. I would argue it's not even half of them, but they are there. And she's obviously one of them. But it's disgusting. No, I know you, like, we say things like rights and the law and stuff like that. And as it stands, apart like from what I've seen, when you look into it, the Irish Constitution isn't a constitution. The Irish people technically don't have any rights because you only have the rights that the Supreme Court grant you. We don't have God-given rights here in Ireland. We have rights that are given to us by the Supreme Court. Like if the Supreme Court goes, yes, you have the right to that, then you have the right to it. If the Supreme Court says you don't have the right to it, you don't have the right to it. So we literally have a system in Ireland where the human being is the arbiter of what another human being has the right to do, which is authoritarianism. It is essentially the law of the sword. You know, the whoever can enforce force, whoever has the monopoly of force, is the one that arbitrarily decides what you are owed. You know, as far as all the systems you interact with, like, which is just fucking mind-blowingly evil. You know, like it's really dystopian. And when you're actually interacting with it, like on a personal level, it's like your nervous system gets that feeling of like, you're not human. Like who the fuck do you think you are? Like what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you know, it's like to not just do the right thing for your fellow man, whether they're your kin or not, like whether they're Irish or not, like is fucking mind blowing to me. Like, I think it is a great shame Justin was ousted from the National Party. So he was ousted. I don't understand why he came out as a 1944 National Socialist. I think he's an excellent speaker. The truth is with him. Well, like, I don't know. Obviously I don't know him too well, and I haven't heard a lot of what he has to say. But like, 1944 National Socialist. So basically, like a Nazi, you know. A lot of what the Nazis stood for is right, though. But like optics, the perspective we've all been, the perspective that has been projected at us of what the Nazis were and are to this day, the majority of it is woefully inaccurate. And it makes sense that it's woefully inaccurate because what we're facing right now is essentially a new breed of communism. So if you're a new breed of communist, your greatest enemy would be people like that. And you would want to frame World War II as far as the Nazis are concerned, as far as Germany is concerned, as far as Hitler was concerned. Like, that's why they made him out to be like the devil incarnate. That's why they made him out to be like the most evil like, you can say whatever the fuck you want about Hitler. But you can also say whatever the fuck you want about Jesus. But if you say anything about Muhammad, oh, you better watch your neck. You know, so who's really in charge? Like, what's really going on? Like, like, I do kind of subscribe, not completely, but I do see a lot of truth in the idea that the Zionists are using Islam as a shield. The Zionists are using the Muslim community as a bulwark against Christians and what, you know, enlightened people would consider to be the truth, you know? Because if there's one thing that those Zionist fuckers are really good at, it's not being able to. You can't get a direct hit on them because they exist in the shadows. So like, the fact that like the amount of mosques that are in Europe is disgusting, you know, because it's Europe. There shouldn't be any mosques in Europe. Like there shouldn't be any mosques in the West. You know, like the fucking amount of like our Christian churches that have been burnt down and stuff like. And I'm not a Christian, but like when I see all of these groups being such blatant hypocrites, it's one of the things that emboldens my position of like, okay, well, obviously organized religion, if it hasn't always been, is now just another vehicle for political corruption. Like, when you see some of our politicians putting on the hijab and all, like, it's like, it's all just virtue signaling and propaganda, and it's wordplay and deception and like just fuckery. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like none of them telling the truth in any kind of social sphere right now. Telling the truth, as far as you know it to be, is considered a bad thing. As far as like most of the, like, telling the truth is like considered to be like I experienced it when I was talking to that caseworker who laughed, like when I explained the situation to him, and he laughed, and he helped me out. Like he sorted me right out within 24 hours. He gave me a physical copy of my PPS number, and he sent me on my way, and I went to the credit union, and everything was fine. But when I turned around and said something like, if I'd have been a foreigner, they'd handed me a fucking house, a car, and a phone, and he went like, oh, like, anytime you mention the truth of the matter in this fucking country, people have an adverse reaction to it because they think that daddy's going to punish them. Or if that's not what they think, they are so brainwashed and they are so like, you know, they're either bought into all that shit. Like, if you speak the truth of the matter, they immediately pin you as the enemy. You're like dangerous, like, do you know what I mean? And it's almost a one-to-one comparison of the COVID situation, where it's like, if you weren't wearing a mask and if you didn't take the jab and that you said that you don't trust all this shit, there were people on Twitter saying that, you know, the unjabbed are no better than drunk drivers and all this fucking shit. Like, you know, like, it literally is the exact same. It's the exact same. What's the word? Dichotomy? I'm not sure. It's the exact same playbook. It's the exact same set of behaviors that you see from a lying narcissist, like a pathological liar, narcissist, typically female. It's a typically, like, you know, which makes sense because we're kind of experiencing the devouring mother archetype in society right now, the whole like nanny state kind of thing. Females have to work from a position of mental and emotional manipulation because they cannot compete physically with males. So if you superimpose that behavior set onto corporations, political entities, religious groups, and so on and so forth, that is how they behave. It's the communist playbook, isn't it? That's like, isn't that what we've all heard? Is that they gaslight you and they project onto you what they are doing. They call you a hypocrite. They call you a liar. They call you evil. They tell you that the truth is you attacking them, and that they deserve to be defended from your attack. Like, it is incredibly insidious, and it's the type of thing that can actually produce like mental, like a madness in people, because you become like so confused and detached from reality because you don't know what's real and what's not. But it's also, it can make you physically ill, because you've got so much pent up frustration and sadness and like heartbreak and like and all like you feel such a like disappointment and disgust, like such like internal disgust at what you're dealing with, because it's not a thing, like it's not a pest in your garden that you can just get a 22 out and shoot the fucker in the head and hang his pelt on your wall. You like you can't, you're not in a position to do that now. So your mind, your mental fortress has to be so fucking strong, and you have to be in this kind of Zen garden state in order to be like water and just like maneuver around them and through them and up and down and over them and shit. Like, and it's incredibly frustrating. It's incredibly frustrating because like it almost goes against your instincts. Like from my personal experience, it goes against my it goes against my, hey Atlantis Bear. It goes against my instincts. My instinct when I come across that behavior, the lying, the gaslighting, the the deception, the manipulation of reality and stuff like that. When I come across that, my first instinct is to rip it out from the root. Like literally go to the fucking heart, like put your hand in the chest, grab its beating heart and rip it from it and just like throw it on the ground and stand on it. Because the longer that it exists, the more corruption it can spread. Whether it affects you personally or not, it's going to affect other people weaker than you. It's only going to get stronger and it's only going to spread because of the amount of people that don't have the mental fortitude that you have. You know, and like that's what's incredibly I suppose like at times demoralizing about it, because it's like we're always going to be outnumbered. We're always going to have to watch people that we care about like fall at the wayside and fall into delusion bubbles and stuff like that. Like we're always going to have to witness it on a fundamental level. We're always just going to have to witness it, and witnessing such utter depravity breaks my heart. And like a few months ago, I had like a bit of a fucking breakdown on stream where like I wouldn't call it a breakdown really. I'm sure a lot of people would call it, oh, he's crashing out. I allowed myself to, I have done many times, to just authentically express how I'm feeling. And like I was investigating whether or not it was fear that was making me so angry, and I was pretty sure that it wasn't fear, because I don't have a lot of fear. I have a lot of anger though, like, you know, so it's like, where does that anger come from? And I'm almost 100% sure that it's heartbreak. That like I'm like sad. I'm sad on a very profound, like deep level. I'm sad because I have that savior archetype in me, like to a really strong degree, where like when I witness that kind of like evil and I can't physically like murder it on the spot, like I'm left in a situation where I feel powerless. And when I feel powerless against evil, I don't get afraid. I get upset. I get downtrodden. I get heartbroken because I don't understand how to fight it. But then that's where you would end up coming to the realization, if you keep going through that, you come to the realization that you cannot save other people. You can only save yourself. But that realization is also tragic. That's like getting out of hell, looking back, seeing all the people you care about that are still there, and having to turn away and being like, if they get out, I will see them again. But if they don't, they don't. That's tragic. Like, to me, anyway, like that's fucking tragic. Like, and I think part of me is still struggling with that, where it's like, the further I ascend and spiral upwards in my like spiritual, mental, and physical journeys through life, where I'm like, I come to these realizations where like the good, the true, and the beautiful lead you to these places. It's like what you end up leaving behind is not just things that you're like, oh, I was better off without that, and like, you know, I didn't really care about that anyway, and sure, that didn't do me any good as it was, and like some, like a lot of it is stuff that like you love, you have love for, you like you've identified with, and you've had relationships with, and it's people, it's things, it's concepts, it's ideas that like have been a part of you, and not only are you leaving those people and those things behind, but there's parts of yourself that you're like cutting off and like letting die and like pulling out of you, or letting the gods like, you know, fucking purge it from you through various means, or it'll be experiences or like body purges or anything like that. Like, and it's like, it's sad. It's a sad thing to experience, where you see all this stuff happening, and you finally get to the point where you like, I've seen this a lot now, where it's like the Sophia stage or something, where like you now have enough wisdom and experience and knowledge about like general existence, where you get to that point where you're like, oh, I can't say, like, free will is real, and you can't save anyone else. You can only save yourself. And I don't feel liberated by that. I don't feel liberated. Like, you know, I can imagine a lot of people would feel liberated. Oh, I don't need to save anybody else. All I have to do is save myself. Oh, cool, fine, fair enough. But what about the whole thing of like protecting the innocent and the weak? Like, doesn't that seem a bit apathetic? And like, cruel? To look at the innocent and the weak and be like, you're on your own? And I know technically they're not on their own. Like, God is with them. They just have to like see it for themselves. Like, you know, like, I suppose you could leave breadcrumbs in places, like, but like you can't. Like, the more I think about it, it makes sense. The same reason that the forces of evil can only deceive and manipulate and obfuscate and influence. They can't actually force anybody to do anything, because then the rules of existence come into play, and it's like, no, you can't do that, because then this will happen. They can't get away with it, in quotes. So they can't force it. It has to be a choice. So they influence, they deceive, they manipulate. Well, in the same sense, the people who believe in the good, true, and the beautiful, we cannot save people. You cannot be the hero. You cannot interfere and slay the dragon, and everyone lives happily ever after. Which makes sense, because if you slay the dragon, you leave a void, you know? And it's like what we were talking about, the storyline of Ewan McFleece, the sheep, and the dragon. It's like he kills the shepherd because the shepherd is evil. And then the dragon shows up. So he kills the dragon. And then like something else shows up. It's like, that's what would be the lesson of that story, is like, the more you remove an obstacle instead of learning a higher enlightened lesson of why that obstacle is an obstacle in the first place, you know, the more you end up like in a weird way, you end up like causing the very thing that you were trying to solve or avoid, you know. It's fascinating, like. And I'm sure, like, I would like understand a lot of these things, you know, a long time ago, or like, you know, if I actually, you know, read up on philosophy and read the Bible and stuff like that, and all, like, you know, but like, I find myself in a position where I think that I think the best use of my time is to become as powerful and as valuable and as useful to myself and others before I indulge in the seeking of knowledge. Because when I do, like, it is kind of magical where, like, things just show up for me. like 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 the god or whatever, like the existence itself, just things just come to me, which gives me the impression that I am making the right decision time and time again. But because I never get to a point where I think, okay, I'm done now, I've learned all my lessons, I'm like level 100 and I have mastered life, I don't get the inverse situation where it's like, oh, now you have all these new problems to deal with or whatever like that, or like you start spiraling downwards again or some shit. For years now, I find myself in a position all the time where every time something goes bad, and my internal like monologue is like, it's okay, no matter what happens, everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be good. Like, everything happens for a reason. This is happening this way because it's supposed to happen this way, because it has to happen this way. All I have to do is what I'm made to do. And as far as I can tell, what I'm made to do is this. I am made to create, to speak truth, and to embolden others. I'm like that's what I did with Wendy. That's what I do on the regular. Like, people will say, I can't do this, or I don't like this, or whatever. Like, people will not necessarily have a negative, but, well, I suppose like from my perspective on something, or they will have a negative feeling about something. And I do my best to show them a different perspective of, like, yeah, but what if it's this though? That's why I love that Chinese parable of, like, oh, his horse goes missing. Oh, that's horrible. Yeah, maybe. And then the horse comes back. Oh, that's great. Yeah, maybe. The army's coming to pick up your son. That's so horrible. Yeah, maybe. Oh, your son's arm got broken, so they can't take him away to the army. The gods have blessed you. Yeah, maybe. Like, I essentially have always, well, not always, since I chose not to kill myself about 10 years ago, I've had that attitude of, essentially, like, the way I always speak it is, we'll see what happens. Because it's not here yet. And, like, sure, you could do loads of stuff leading up to when that becomes now. But until it is now, you don't know. So the only thing you can do is, like what Atlantis Bear said, is like, you just stay in the flow. Be water. You just stay in the flow. Anything that comes at you that's a negative, you, like, almost, you don't, it's not even that you deflect it. It's almost like you assimilate it. And you being you is enough to absorb it, polarize it, alchemize it, and then eject it or exhaust it as something else. And then anything that positive comes your way only makes you stronger. I suppose that's the end of that rant. Oh, I need a cigarette. Flow state is the key. Yeah. The I. Did you put I in as in, like, the identity when I was talking about getting out of the pit and leaving all these things behind? Because if so, then you make a very good point. A lot of the pain and the sadness is the
who will I be post this? It's pretty much the same thing that fucking Owen was talking about on the other stream, where like Theo Von is like, part of me wants a different story, but then part of me doesn't want a different story because then I won't be me anymore. I'll be somebody else. But I don't think that's true. I think that's a misinterpretation of how this all works. Just because a caterpillar becomes a butterfly doesn't mean that the butterfly is not who, like, the physical metamorphosis does not remove your soul. You know, like the light within you, I think, is the only thing that's actually you. Like, I think that, like, the light with it, like, your soul is you. Your body isn't you. Your thoughts aren't you. Your actions, your decisions aren't you, but they do represent, in a sense, who you are and who you will be, or who you were, because it's you choosing to do those things. But like, just because you go from a caterpillar to a butterfly, you know, like if the caterpillar's name is George and he becomes a butterfly, he's still George. He's just a butterfly now, you know. So like, and that's what I think is so fucked up and insidious with the whole trans movement. It's like, so it's like, okay, so you cut your cock and balls off, and you're taking a lot of hormones, but you're still you. like changing your outward appearance isn't going to change who you are. And if who you are is somebody who is not satisfied in their physical body, then that's a problem with the interplay between you and your physical body. That's not a problem with your body. Your body's not the problem. You're the problem. Your perspective is the problem. You know? Those poor people. Yeah, exactly. I shouldn't chat while I drive. Yes, you're very true. Do not type and drive. I've come to the realization that I can't have common ground with my father. Oh, bro, I feel you on that one. I don't know if I'll speak to him if he reaches out again, but I won't initiate from now on. For now, I have to protect my peace. Oh, man. That hits home. I literally know exactly what that feels like. That's not an easy thing to deal with, bro. That's not an easy thing to deal with at all. I've been dealing with it for a few years now. It's not easy. Even if your dad is an asshole, for whatever reason, being disconnected from your father it's not easy. Especially when you used to have a relationship, you know. It's like that scene from Men in Black where he's like, oh, you know what they say, it's better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all. And Tommy Lee's character is like, try it. Like Kay turns around, he's like, try it. If you've never had it, then you don't know what it feels like to lose it. And it's a profound pain that it takes a lot. It's not just the loneliness. There's a certain specific kind of camaraderie that one, especially as a man, there's a certain kind of camaraderie and a sense of brotherhood that cannot be matched, you know, like with the whole father-son thing. because you are of him, you know. If not for him, you wouldn't be here. And parts of him lie within you. It's that's a rough one. And I speak from experience. It's not easy. It's doable. But we're playing life on hard mode, nigga. When it comes to that in particular. Playing life on hard mode. When you have a father, and you have had a father for years, and then you come to the realization that you can't. Well, maybe you can, you know. But at least for the moment you can't. Don't completely cut him off. Don't do that to yourself. Your best option is to try and just come to a point of understanding. If you can show him love despite everything, then I think that's the way to go. I think the reason why it's fucked me up so much is because I tried to show him love despite everything, and it didn't change anything. I'll explain more off stream. Don't want to bring the vibe in. Well, like, you know, fucking, you're not the one crying on screen. You're not bringing down the vibe, man. You're just being real. You're just being real. You're just speaking your mind. That's not bringing the vibe down. You're expressing a pain, and you're amongst friends. You know, that's what we're supposed to be able to do with each other. Even as men, like this whole like men aren't supposed to talk about their feelings. That's such bullshit, man. Men not expressing healthy emotions is what puts men in an early grave. One of the main things about being a strong man is having discipline over your emotions. That doesn't mean you don't have them. They're still fucking there. And just because you have discipline over them doesn't mean that you don't express them, you know? Well, that sucks. My dad's awesome. You have the right attitude, nigga. Like, be grateful. You know, like, you know, be grateful for that. You're blessed. You're blessed with it. Like, you know, you love your father. Your father loves you. Like, be grateful. Like, the thing that would make you a dickhead would be not acknowledging how good you have it, you know? If not here, then where? Exactly, you know? When you're amongst your brothers, you should be able to be as strong or as vulnerable as you need to be in that given moment. And your brothers are supposed to hold you up or beat the shit out of you, you know? That's what we're supposed to do. Iron sharpens iron. Like, you know, when one of us is being weak and vulnerable, we have to be strong for him and, like, hold him up and shit, you know? And, like, you know, if he's choosing to be a bitch about it, then, you know, he needs a slap in the mouth, like. And then that's when you know if he's a gamma or not, as if he can't take an honest hiding, like, you know? Whether it be through speech or through physical combat or whatever like that, like, you know. never never admonish a brother for being honest or you know, expressing himself honestly. Like, never admonish a brother for that. But we all know what there's a big difference between being a pussy about it and being a whiny little bitch about it and just being honest about it. It is the mark of a strong man to be able to go, this is how I feel, and express it. You know, there's a big like, you know, if you came on stream and you were bitching about it every fucking, you know, Monday or some shit, it'd be completely different. But it's not like that. I know exactly what you're going through, and it's not easy. And the fact that you have the demeanor that you have, and that you get up and you fucking clean those buses down, and you're here at this stream like every fucking day. You know, you've supported me financially by buying the paintings and stuff and all. Like, you're a good son. You're a good man, you know? And if your father has like some kind of like political hang up or like worldview or some shit, that's on him, you know? But don't cut him off. Don't do that to yourself, you know? If it was a case where, like, you know, fucking he did some really fucked up shit, like if he like fucks you over like really badly, or like, you know, if you and Sonia had children and he did some really fucked up thing or some shit like that, like, then, like, you know, there is a point where blood doesn't matter anymore and you need to get rid of them, like. But from what you've expressed, it's more of like just a perception conflict, like a conflict of ideals, a conflict of worldview, a conflict of opinion and stuff, and like that can be overcome. It's difficult, you know. You're gonna want to fucking wring his neck sometimes and stuff like that and all, like, but don't cut him off until you know that you have no other option. And I understand, like I said, I understand where you're coming from, where like you're not interacting and you're not reaching out because you need to maintain your peace. I've been there, and then I reached out and I was like, look, I forgive you and all. Yeah, like, I just, my father has repeatedly over the years shown his true colors, and like, he's, from everything I've experienced and everything that I've heard, my father's not a good man. And that's not my fault. But I remember what it was like to feel like a son that had a father that I loved. Not even necessarily who loved me, because a lot of the time he like critiqued me and judged me and, you know, fucking, I was never doing the right thing. I was never good enough. I was never making the right decisions and stuff. He always gave me the impression that I was disappointing him or stressing him out, or I was a burden. I was a stress that he was obligated to deal with. I didn't really ever feel like he loved me on a deep level, like a father would love a son, in a healthy way, you know. And it's rough. It's like, it's a really rough feeling, like, but it is what it is. And I'm not alone, you know. There's some people who are way worse than me. You know, there's some people who their father is in their life every day and he's a fucking monster. So in that sense, I am blessed. You know? there's a silver lining to every fucking cloud, nigga. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, as much as it hurts to not have a relationship with your dad right now, it would benefit you to accept that that's probably the best thing for now, is for you to not interact, for the reason like what you said, to maintain your peace, you know. But don't let it do what I've kind of let it do to me. I kind of I buried it a bit, which is why I react the way that I react when stuff like that is brought up, you know. It's still really painful for me because I haven't dealt with it. I've buried it because, as far as I'm concerned, I have, like, you know, more important things to deal with. You see, I'm in kind of like a frustrating situation that I don't really know what to do, because in the past I'm usually the one that reaches out. I have been the one to reach out. I have been the one to be like, here, look, you're a fucking dickhead and I hate you, but like, you're still me dad, and like, I want you in my life and blah blah. And it didn't matter. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Or rather, I don't know what to do. So I've focused on other things. But that doesn't mean that the pain isn't still there. It's there. It's obvious, you know. All you have to do is fucking say something like that, like, you know, oh, I'm having a hard time with my dad, and like, I'm not really talking to him and shit, like, and that just, I literally feel your pain, you know, literally feel it, like. It's not easy. I miss my brother. Guys, we need a dad around more for sure. It's a real mess without Pops around. It's not easy, man. There's a reason they have gone at the nuclear family so much, you know. I don't care how tough you are. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how old you are or how tough you are, you know, being a man or whatever, like, your father's your father, you know. We were all a child at one stage. We were all small and vulnerable, and we looked up to him, and he was there. It wasn't this metaphysical father. It wasn't this like spiritual, mental, like, you know, immaterial thing that we could have faith in. You didn't have to have faith because he was there, you know. And he was strong, and then he was big, and he was imposing, and, you know, like, he solved problems, and he took care of your mother and you and all, like, do you know what I mean? And like, when that what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. When that system is removed, it's a profound sense of loneliness and loss. The grief is fucking palpable, you know, like. But that which does not kill you makes you stronger. If you can learn to love him regardless, you don't have to talk to him, you know. Just accept it. Accept him for who he is. Love him despite what's going on. That's what will get you through it. And like, I'm still, obviously I'm still struggling with it. But every other aspect of my life is like improved because of the perspective and the mentality I have about it. You know, no matter how much it hurts, it's okay. It's okay that it hurts. Embrace the suck. Embrace the pain. Feel the pain. Feel it, like, and let it wash over you like water. And then realize that you're still here despite how much it hurts. And then realize how strong you actually are and how much that you don't actually need him, you know? It's just that your inner child is always going to want to have a father, because you should have a father, you know? It's instinctual. Every fiber of your being is like, where's dad? You know? Grown men in their 50s will ring up their father and be like, oh, hey dad, you know, how's mom? Do you still need a hand building that shed on the weekend? It's not supposed to ever go away. It's supposed to just grow into something else. And when it's not there, it's really, really painful. It's not easy. Like I was saying, it's a testament to your character that you can just, like, you know, like that would fuck up some guys, you know? That would fuck some guys up. They'd be drinking, they'd be, you know, taking drugs, and they'd be like blaming him for all their life's issues, and like spiraling downwards into a state of hell. Like, you know, you're not. You're going to work. You're here having a laugh. You know, you're being a good boyfriend to Sonia. You take care of your pets. You know, despite that kind of pain, you're still a good man. You know, so you don't need your dad to be proud of you. You be proud of you. I'm proud of you. Happy to hear that, Printer. Never take it for granted, because there's just a severe lack of it in these times. Yeah. There is a lot. There's a lot of us. We're not alone. There's a lot of us. It's not just the black kids, you know, like, it's not just all them ghetto black kids. There's a lot of us. And it hurts. But it's doable. Just like everything else. Just because it's difficult doesn't mean it's not doable. It just means that you'll be that much stronger when you get through it. I never had brothers growing up. I was only able to call a handful of friends such until we parted ways. But you guys, I know I can call brothers. Fuck yeah, man. I'm the same. I never had any brothers growing up. I was the big brother. All I have is a little sister. So I'm the same. I was never able to look to my left and look to my right. I was always looking up at him, at my father. And for years now, I don't have that. But it's despite how it feels and despite all the negative aspects of it, there is good in it if you choose to see the good in it. Look at Owen. You know, his father's a faggot. Like, his father's like a demented old faggot. Like, it's not easy. If Owen can do it, any of us can do it. You know? You're not alone. Never forget that. I might not be physically around, you know, but you ever need to talk about anything, you know where I'm at, you know. And if it's the sort of thing that you don't want Sonia to know about because you don't want to appear weak in front of your woman, I get that. You just hit me up, you know. I'm here, bro. Blood isn't everything. It may be thicker than water, but water is life. And we all come from water. We're all born from water. We may not all share blood, but we all share the water. Right. Let's get back to it. Stavros Hammer's face needs more definition. My sinuses are a bit more clear now. Dutch Protestant men are raised to be robotically stoic. Puerto Rican men are inherently prideful and have to be macho in all cases. It's very similar, the whole Irish Catholic thing. It's all just like stamped down and like hidden away. It's unnatural. And it's counterintuitive. Stoicism serves a purpose up until a point. You can't truly connect with your children if you're not emotionally available, you know? True strength is derived from feeling the pain and moving through it, not ignoring it. And I definitely speak from experience on that one. Do not ignore the pain. Feel it. Use it. Use the pain. Gotta bite down on that gum shield and walk forward.
Alright. Let's just start messy tonight. Canvas blank under a soft blue light. I don't really know where this goes, but the colors answer, slow and close.
It's hard for me to open up about certain stuff. It's because it hurts. You gotta open up that chest. Just look your opponent right in the eye, tell him to aim right here. And hit him with everything you got. Or hit you with everything he's got. Just like, you gotta hit me, hit me. Show me what you got. Fucking feel it, man. Pain teaches you. You know that from going to the gym. You can lift iron, lift your spirits. Lift your spirit like you would the iron.
Let me zoom in so you can see every flaw, every possibility. Sometimes you ruin it to make it work. That's how art learns first.
It's not about being weak. It's about being vulnerable and exposing yourself. Do not be afraid of being vulnerable. There is strength in that. No fear. Expose your weakness and know that no matter what hits it, you'll still be there after it. What was it that Rocky said? It's not about how hard you can hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and keep going. If it hurts like a fucking bitch, it hurts. It's not gonna kill you though. It's just gonna hurt like a bitch. I really appreciate the encouragement. I appreciate the fact that you feel like you can be honest with me. And us. Nothing but love, bro. Well, we never get to the end of the playlist. Next time we'll have to start it like halfway through. This doesn't have to happen, but it would be kind of cool if we all eventually have costumes of what our avatars look like. And we all put them on for a meetup. Stabaru can wear pants though. Oh, that'd be fucking epic, man. Oh, right. My beloved Japanita, it is all I have time for to do. It's getting late in the day, and I must eat.
I hope you've enjoyed today's painting, Goo. I enjoyed painting for you.
Oh, my shoulders are getting stiffer.
Philosophizing and talking a load of shite.
Yes.
I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. If you haven't paid for painting, Goo, pay for painting, Goo. Or you have no honor, and your ancestors will shame you from the grave beyond and turn in their grave and show you their ass and fart at you.
Oh.
I hope you've enjoyed today's painting, Goo. I enjoyed painting for you.
Right? You know the drill.
Philosophizing and
Pay the monkey so he doesn't go hungry. My beloved Japanita,
your evening.
be good, be true, and be beautiful.
Painting, Goo.
And I will see you soon. To all you other filthy mortal scum,
Beyond and turn in their grave
Goodbye.
and show you their ass and fart at you.
sayonara.
I hope you've enjoyed today's painting, Goo. I enjoyed painting for you. And fucking philosophizing and talking a load of shite.